Hello everyone, good evening. Warm welcome to your own YouTube channel. We call it as Exam Norm and I welcome you all in the favorite session that is Finance Norm. You know this very well. In this session we cover the finance current affairs and we target majorly the circulars, notifications as well as the master directions of RBI, SEBI and the other regulatory bodies. So before we start with the discussion, may I have a reply that I'm audible, visible, everything is fine. Just give me a thumbs up so that we can start the discussion quickly without any further delay. Today I have two important circulars from RBI directly which are important and there is a great probability that the question can be asked in the examination. I'm pretty sure that you guys have gone through with the PDF of the previous session. In the previous session PDF, I have given you the entire detail related to the risk which is associated with different types of loan as per the new risk calculation format which has been introduced by RBI. So I hope you have checked it out. I hope you have seen it. I hope you are aware that if a question can be asked in the examination, you should be in a position to answer it with the help of the data which has been provided to you. Done? All good? Okay. So just give me a second. I'll just quickly share the link of this session with your friends so that more and more students, they are aware that the session is live. One more thing guys, I would like to add over here. I have seen that you guys have stopped watching the regular current affairs and you guys are more into revising the previous month's current affairs, which is good. You have to revise the previous month's current affairs. That is very much important. But if you are ignoring the current month, that is the May month, you are making a biggest mistake. First is majority questions will be asked in the examination from the same month. Second is you are yourself creating a backlog for you which you have to cover before you sit for the examination. Already you have ample of things which you have to revise on regular basis, which you have to, I would say, hold on regular basis. But if you are not investing your time on regular basis, it will be a piled up content which you have to cover by the end of this month, which is very tough for anyone to cover, or which is very tough for everyone to cover before we sit for the examinations. It's good थोड़ा रोज करते रहो ताकि end of the day आप पे load ना आए, वरना it will be a great, I would say, it will be a piled up content of many pages which will be tough for you to cover. ठीक है जी, clear हो गया? Shall we start with the discussion? Okay, no more discussion. I hope everybody has joined. Let's get started. I have not come up with any question from the previous session intentionally because I wanted that I should give you one more day. You should go through with the content once again, and if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Otherwise, in the next class, I will be coming up. with the questions based on the same. I will be coming up with the questions based on the same. ठीक है जी, चलो. Ready? Okay. Let's get started. What? Why, Deepak? कुछ गलत बोल दिया क्या मैंने? अरे भाई कुछ गलत बोल दिया तो बता दो. नहीं, स्टार्ट करें. ठीक है. तो पहली जो न्यूज है that is important and it's easy as well, but there is a great probability कि यहाँ से question examination में जरूर पूछा जाएगा. Now the point is, sir, what is this news all about? What is this circular all about? And what all things are important from this particular circular which you need to cover before you sit for the examination? Please pay attention. सबसे पहली चीज है फॉरेन एक्सचेंज मैनेजमेंट रेगुलेशन 2026 and this regulation is basically related to the authorized person. Authorized person means if we talk about foreign exchange, forex services are provided by the parties, are provided by the authorities which are allowed to perform those operations by RBI. So if you want to get into you want to seek a license to run a organization which will be involved in forex services, then in that particular case you need approval from RBI. Why you need approval from RBI? Because according to Foreign Exchange Management Act, RBI has been made responsible for the management, for the regulation of forex market. Now RBI provide license to these authorized persons who get involved in the forex services as authorized dealer category 1, as authorized dealer category 2, as authorized dealer category 3, and full-fledged money exchanger. And full-fledged money exchanger, full-fledged money changer. अब इसमें क्या है कि सर इस recent circular में they have come up with the, I would say it's a circular which is giving a uniform and at one stop information regarding the licensing. If you want to seek permission to start operation as an authorized dealer, then what all steps you have to follow. If you want to renew your contract, then what steps you have to follow. If you are not following the requirements, then what penalty will be charged, under what conditions RBI can revoke this capacity or revoke this authority from a body, that this body will not be anymore allowed to involve in forex market. So all these conditions have been now concluded, have been now concised in one circular itself, जिसके बारे में RBI ने recently बताया, जिसके बारे में RBI ने recently बताया. ठीक है, अब इसमें हमें क्या क्या चीजें देखनी है. अगर मैं सबसे पहली चीज पे बात करूं तो इसमें एक चीज है जो कि काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है, which is foreign exchange correspondence. So this is something which you have to understand very, I would say, you should pay attention while understanding the foreign exchange correspondence, because यहाँ से क्वेश्चन आने के पूरे चांसेस. एक बात याद रखना, बहुत बार स्टूडेंट्स दे आस्क मी दैट सर फॉर फेज 1 शुड वी कवर फाइनेंस स्टैटिक. आई वुड से यस, लेकिन दे आस्क मी सर इतना बड़ा सिलेबस है क्या कवर करें. देन आई ऑलवेज से जस्ट कवर दोज टॉपिक्स विच आर इन फाइनेंस करंट अफेयर्स. तो जैसे आज द करंट अफेयर न्यूज टॉक्स अबाउट द ऑथोराइज्ड डीलर्स, इट टॉक्स अबाउट द process of providing the license and charging the penalty. Along with that, you should know in much detail what is authorized dealer, what is authorized dealer category 3, and what is foreign exchange or full-fledged money exchanger. Is it clear? Thought समझ आई? Is the thought clear to everybody? Is the thought clear to everybody? If the thought is clear to everybody, just give me yes sir. Is the thought is clear? If the thought is clear to everybody, just give me yes sir, so that we can begin the discussion. So that we can begin the discussion. Don't worry guys, आपके जो भी doubts हैं with respect to this particular topic, everything will be cleared in this particular session only. So you don't have to worry कि क्या क्या चीजें हम कवर करने वाले. A to Z जो भी रिक्वायरमेंट है इस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक से which can be asked in the examination will be covered in this class itself. Ready? ठीक है. सबसे पहला I would start my discussion with the very first term, and the very first term where I would like to start is कि sir what do you understand by these 4 categories. I'll quickly give you an overview about these 4 categories. So first one we have is authorized dealer category 1. Second is authorized dealer category 2, third is authorized dealer category 3, and fourth is full-fledged money changer. अब यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन है कि सर इन चारों के बारे में हमें क्या क्या पता होना चाहिए. तो सबसे पहली चीज तो सर इन चारों की डेफिनेशंस आपको पता होनी चाहिए, द ऑपरेशंस दे डू. सो व्हेन आई से ऑथोराइज्ड डीलर कैटेगरी 1, सर ऑथोराइज्ड डीलर कैटेगरी 1 इज अ full-fledged dealer. Now you must be wondering कि सर ये full-fledged डीलर का क्या मतलब है. फुल फ्लेज डीलर बेसिकली मींस दैट इट इज इन्वॉल्व्ड इन करंट अकाउंट एज वेल एज कैपिटल अकाउंट ट्रांजैक्शंस. सो दोज हु डोंट नो, आई होप वी हैव डिस्कस्ड दिस एन नंबर ऑफ टाइम्स. करंट अकाउंट and capital account transaction basically means when we talk about the transaction, which is regular in nature, and it do not have any effect, which is regular in nature, and it do not have any effect on the I would say it has no effect on the day-to-day basis liability as well as asset, on the day-to-day basis liability as well as asset of the country. So जब भी कभी you come across with the transactions which do not impact your asset or liability, we call it as current account transaction. For example, import export, for example, inflow of profits, outflow of profits, inflow of remittance, outflow of remittance, grants, aids, they all come under current account transactions. Capital account means if you are borrowing the funds from outside India or you are making an investment or investment is coming in from the other nations, all those transactions, my dear friends, are included in the category of what? So they are included in the category of current account transaction. They are included in the category of, capital account transaction. In India, current account transaction convertibility is allowed 100%. Convertibility 100% का क्या मतलब है सर? Convertibility 100% का मतलब है that if you are involved in a current account transaction, then you can exchange, you can do the exchange as per your requirement. There is no limit. But if you are involved in a capital account transaction, then freely exchange is not allowed because convertibility is not allowed 100%. Okay. Now if I move on to the category 2. So category 2 kya hai sir? If I talk about the category 2 is allowed to carry out specified non-trade related current account activities, and any other activities which are decided by RBI. So in case of category 1, we have only and only the banks which are allowed to operate or which are allowed to even get the license under the category 1. In category 2, along with banks, we have selected RRBs, we have selected urban cooperative banks, which are allowed by RBI to apply for the license. And if they get the license, they will be involved in specific pre-decided limited services with respect to forex reserves. On the other side, if I talk about category 3, sir, in case of category 3, RBI authorized entities that can carry out specific foreign exchange transactions which is related to their business or activities. For example, कि एक business है, उस business के केस में RBI ने कहा ठीक है यार आप अपने ना जो employees है उनको exchange कर दो. So that is basically related to your own business. Which is allowed. That is category 3. Then we have category 4. The moment I say category 4, what is the meaning of category 4? So category 4 is basically the full-fledged currency exchanger which is involved कि भैया सिर्फ और सिर्फ मेरे पास आओ अगर आपको currency exchange करानी है या फिर आपके पास let's say you have a traveler check, I will be sorting it out, nothing else. I will be sorting that out, nothing else can be done from my side. Is it clear? So this is how you need to remember the things, which is more than sufficient. अब इस पे अगर हम पढ़े क्या क्या चीजें हमें पता होनी चाहिए. So Reserve Bank of India has announced on 30th of April 2026 under the powers given by Foreign Exchange Management Act, the rules explain the authorized person in the foreign exchange business, how they will get the permission, how they can get their activities renewed, what all activities are allowed, what conditions are there, and the regulations also set for the forex correspondents, which I will be discussing in a while. So these directions are effective from the immediate effect, that means from 30th of September onwards it was effective. It is applicable on authorized dealers, foreign exchange correspondents, as well as it is applicable on full-fledged money changer. If you want to have a glimpse that how we define all of them, so I have a glimpse for you. This is the glimpse. So this is category 1, category 2, category 3 and FFMC. Who usually get the license? Sir, banks. Who usually get the license? RRBs and urban cooperative banks, selected financial and other institutes, but only for limited incidental forex activities. Here anybody can generally get the license. Agar aap company hai, you registered as a company, you can get it. So this is basically the main purpose is to provide business services to the importers, exporters, investors and whatnot. So it's a middle layer category. It is used for retail style and specified non-trade forex work which is done. It's a narrow need based which is given to a specific company only, and it's basic money changing कि भैया आओ currency दो दूसरी currency ले जाओ. That is what is need to be done from FFMC. अब इसमें हमें क्या क्या चीजें याद रखनी है वो देखते हैं जरा. Grant of authorization. So no person can carry out the function of foreign exchange until and unless the grant, the license, the permission is given by RBI. If the entity was already authorized before these regulations came into effect, then that entity will allowed to remain, or that entity will continue to operate as an authorized authority till your license, till your permission expires. And if it expires, then you have to follow these new rules. A new applicant must apply through the Pravaha portal. As you all know that if you want to apply for the same business authorization, then you will be applying only and only through the Prava portal. You are not allowed to apply through the you're not allowed. So you must apply through the Prava portal to the RBI regional office that has the jurisdiction over the applications registered office. Okay, that is what you need to remember. Now RBI consider the application for 3 categories only, category 1, category 2, category 3. यानी कि अब अगर आप बनना चाहते हैं नए FMC, you are not allowed. If you want to become FMC, then you are not allowed to seek a license. RBI is not providing any license. RBI कह रहा है which are existing, they will remain, they will operate, but no new FMC license will be provided. If RBI had already asked for more documents in the pending FMC application, those documents must be submitted within 30 days. मतलब ये हुआ कि सर अगर इस लॉ के आने से पहले, before this announcement of this master direction or this circular, if any company has applied for FMC and that application is still in pipeline, then RBI is saying don't worry, that will remain in pipeline, and if I am asking you for some extra document, you should submit those extra document within 30 days. If not, then RBI will reject the application. If you don't submit, RBI will reject the application. Okay? Now eligibility. An applicant must be a company under the Companies Act 2013. Its memorandum of association must clearly, its memorandum of understanding or association must clearly mention the foreign exchange activity for which authorization is being taken. कि भैया आप जो आए हैं वो किस पर्पस के लिए आए हैं, आप you are seeking the license for which category. For authorized dealer category 1 only bank licensed by RBI are eligible, only and only the banks, that is majorly the scheduled commercial banks. For authorized dealer category 2, the applicant may be bank licensed by RBI. So you can be a bank licensed by RBI, you can be a NBFC registered with RBI, you can be a full-fledged money changer, or you can be a forex correspondent that has been functioning for at least 2 years and has an annual forex turnover of 50 crores. Then also you can apply for category 2. Who can apply for category 3? The entity must either need foreign exchange dealing because of its own business activity or intend to offer innovative product and services involving foreign exchange. भैया आप तब आओ कैटेगरी 3 में जब आपको ये फॉरेन एक्सचेंज एक्टिविटी करनी है अपने बिजनेस के लिए, करनी है अपने बिजनेस के लिए, और अगर आपको ये एक्टिविटी अपने बिजनेस के लिए नहीं करनी, then you should be coming up with any innovative project, then only come under category 3, otherwise you are not allowed. So at the time of starting the business, the authorized person, the applicant, must also meet the minimum net owned fund requirements. So category 1 में तो बैंक है, बैंक की तो net owned fund की कोई requirement ही नहीं है, कोई net worth की requirement नहीं है, because their minimum investment, or I would say the minimum paid up capital to start its operation as a bank is 500 crores, which is way high, what I will be discussing now. For authorized dealer category 2, your minimum net worth, that is total asset minus total liabilities, your minimum net worth should be 10 crores, and for category 2 your minimum net worth should be 2 crores. These are the two things which you need to remember. तो ये एक पॉइंट आ गया जो याद रखना है, 10 करोड़ और 2 करोड़, और ये 50 करोड़ वाला पॉइंट आपको याद रखना है, विच इज इंपॉर्टेंट. ये 2 साल वाला पॉइंट भी आपको याद रखना है, विच इज इंपॉर्टेंट. ठीक है. अगली फिर वही घिसी पिटी लाइन कि भैया अगर आप एप्लीकेंट हैं तो योर मैनेजमेंट शुड बी फिट and proper, it should be eligible and all, वो सारी बातें ओके हैं. सर एटलीस्ट 50% ऑफ द डायरेक्टर्स एंड की मैनेजरल पर्सनल्स they must have qualification and experience in the financial services. Okay, ठीक है, nothing big, ये basic चीजें हैं, that is fine. अगला point है, that is renewal. If you are coming for renewal, for example, you have received authorized dealer category 2 or maybe category 3 or maybe FFMC. You may have received FFMC permission from RBI or authorization from RBI for, let's say, 3 years. अब 3 years are completing. Now you will be reaching to RBI to renew it. And in case of renew, there are other further conditions. पहली तो वही है, fit and proper वाली condition fulfill होनी चाहिए. और अगर मैं minimum net worth की बात करूं, the minimum net worth should be 25 lakhs for FFMC. and minimum 50 lakhs for multiple branch FFMC. अगर आपके पास सिंगल ब्रांच FFMC है तो 25 लाख नेटवर्थ होनी चाहिए, और अगर मल्टी ब्रांच है 50 लाख, कैटेगरी 2 है तो 10 करोड़, कैटेगरी 3 है तो 2 करोड़. बट एक चीज है कि अगर आप FMC के लिए न्यू लाइसेंस अप्लाई करते हैं, दैट इज नॉट अलाउड. RBI इज नॉट एक्सेप्टिंग द लाइसेंस, द एप्लीकेंट्स or applications for new FMC license. That is clear. So you must start the process of renewal at least 2 years before it expires, and by the time it expires you can continue your operations. Consideration of the applications: an application can be rejected by RBI if it is false, incorrect, misleading or not compliant with the eligibility criteria given by RBI. If an entity authorization has been revoked मतलब हटा दिया RBI ने authorization, or you have voluntarily surrendered your authorization, or application was rejected for the renewal purpose, then you will not be allowed to apply for a new license at least for 1 year. तो एक साल आपको ब्रेक लेना होगा. After 1 year only you can come back and apply for the license, you can apply for the authorization. Permitted activities I have already discussed. Authorized dealer category 1 allows current and capital account transactions. Authorized dealer category 2, it allows non-trade current account transaction. Non-trade current account transaction का मतलब है, for example, my brother, he's staying in Australia, he's sending funds to us. That is a remittance. It's a current account transaction, but it is non-trade. That will be included. That means except gifts and donations, all other non-trade current account transactions will be performed. Remember that. It may also deal in foreign trade transaction up to 25 lakhs per transaction. तो एक और condition है, authorized dealers category 2 are allowed to have a per transaction value in Indian rupees up to 25 lakhs only. Category 3, भैया you will be performing special functions or innovative operations, and FMC will be involved only in the exchange of currency. Either the currency notes are exchanged or the traveler checks are exchanged. Nothing else is allowed for FMC. Now, if I talk about the conditions of authorization, sir, authorization is valid until it is revoked or surrendered. For banks and NBFCs, the authorization will continue only as long as their banking license or registration remains valid. क्लियर है कि भैया ये जो रिन्यूअल आपने बताया था 3 साल के बाद, ये कब कराना पड़ता है? तो अगर आप बैंक हैं या फिर आप NBFC हैं, and if you are operating either as a bank or NBFC, you will be allowed to operate as an authorized dealer category 1 or 2 as well. There is no problem. But अगर you are a non-bank authorized person, if you are a non-bank authorized person, then you must begin your operations within 6 months of getting authorization. They must seek RBI approval before any change in the management, control or ownership of more than 50%. And if there is any change, you should inform within 30 days. तो भैया इस केस में जो नॉन बैंक ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस हैं उसके लिए भी as such कोई फिक्स टाइमलाइन नहीं है that for what timeline you will be getting the authorization, but there are some conditions. If you are a non-bank authorized person, then you should start your operation within 6 months. जैसे आज आपको एप्लीकेशन आपकी एक्सेप्ट हुई, you should start the operation within next 6 months. If you are making any change in your management, control or ownership which is of value more than 50%, you should take prior approval from RBI. And if you are making any key change in your director or key managerial personals, or fit and proper status is issued, or there is any issue with the fit and proper status, or any kind of investigation has been started with ED, then in that case you have to inform RBI within 30 days. If the net worth of an authorized person falls below minimum required level, you will get 6 months to restore it. Authorized person may operate from any place of business, but non-bank authorized persons, they must report their new business location. समझ आई ये बात कि भैया अगर तो आप बैंक है तो कहीं से भी काम करें, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, लेकिन अगर आप नॉन बैंक है और इफ यू आर चेंजिंग योर ऑपरेशन पोजीशन, इफ यू आर expanding your branches, if you're setting up new branch, or you are moving your one branch to the another city by closing from one and opening in the another city, then you have to inform every change to RBI within 7 calendar years, not working years, within 7 calendar years. ठीक है जी. अपील की अगर मैं बात करूं, अगर मेरी एप्लीकेशन रिजेक्ट हो जाती है तो आई एम अलाउड बाय RBI that I can file a complaint within 45 calendar days from the date of receiving the rejection. और अगर मेरा लाइसेंस रिवोक कर दिया तो भी मैं 45 दिन के अंदर अंदर अपील कर सकता हूं. द एपलेट अथॉरिटी विल गिव द एप्लीकेंट अ चांस टू बी हर्ड एंड विल pass an order within 60 calendar days from the date of receiving the appeal. बात समझ आई कि सर अगर मान लो मेरी एप्लीकेशन रिजेक्ट हो गई या फिर मेरी ऑथोराइजेशन को रिजेक्ट कर दिया, ऑथोराइजेशन को कैंसिल कर दिया, इन बोथ द केसेस विदिन 45 days आई कैन अप्लाई and the appellate authority will listen to my appeal and they will give their decision within 60 days of the appeal they have received. अब यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन ये आता है, who is the appellate authority? So the appellate authority, ये क्वेश्चन बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है. The appellate authority is executive director in charge of foreign exchange department, central office RBI. ये पॉइंट आपको याद रखना है कि सर जो RBI के एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर है, in charge of the foreign exchange department will be the appellate authority and he will be listening to all these complaints. तो ये पॉइंट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, मार्क कर लेना. अगला पॉइंट जो यहाँ पे इंपॉर्टेंट है, दैट इज व्हाट इज फॉरेन और फॉरेक्स कॉरेस्पॉन्डेंट. व्हाट इज फॉरेक्स कॉरेस्पॉन्डेंट? इट बेसिकली मीन्स कि सर अ बैंक और मे बी ऑथोराइज्ड डीलर कैटेगरी 2, आई एम सेइंग ऑथोराइज्ड डीलर कैटेगरी 1 और कैटेगरी 2, दे कैन अपॉइंट एन एजेंट. याद है आपको, वी हैव टॉक्ड अबाउट बिजनेस कॉरेस्पॉन्डेंट्स, banking correspondents. In a similar manner, we have the forex correspondents. So these are the agents which are appointed by the bank or authorized dealer category 2, and these agents, they perform on the behalf of, they provide services on the behalf of this bank or maybe the authorized dealer category 2. So they are known as forex correspondents. So bank or authorized dealer category 2 may appoint agent called forex correspondent to conduct money changing business under the principal agent model. Principal agent matlab this will be the principal and this will be the agent. End of the day, transaction is done by agent but it is performed on the behalf and its records are recorded with the principal. Next point is the foreign exchange correspondent may buy or sell the foreign currency, notes as well as traveler check for the foreign travel purpose and may also, category 2 है, उनके पास एक set board approved internal policy होनी चाहिए on the basis of what they are appointing the foreign exchange correspondents. It should cover how the entity will be appointed, fit and proper criteria क्या होगा, what will be the permitted activities, what net worth requirement is needed, how their due diligence मतलब check will be done, system and control, reporting, charges, customer services and grievance redressal will be taken. Reporting charges का मतलब कि भैया अगर आप हमारे behalf एज अ बैंक के behalf पर you are doing a job or you are performing the operations on my behalf. Guys, is there any issue? Is there any issue? It's fine, huh? Okay. Yes, it is like business correspondent only. All transactions done by FX correspondent must be recorded in the books of the principal, and FX correspondent may work for more than one authorized dealer with permission. मतलब आप एक से ज्यादा बैंक के लिए भी काम कर सकते हैं, उसमें भी कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. The principal must ensure that FXC follows the law, display the RBI permission at each outlet, protect customer information and submit quarterly, this is important, submit quarterly details of foreign exchange correspondent and their business locations within 15 days from each calendar year. तो भैया आपको अपनी सारी की सारी जो permissions है, जहाँ सारी की सारी जो information है related to quarterly details, you have to submit your location details within 15 days end of each calendar quarter. तो जैसे ही आपका क्वार्टर कंप्लीट होगा उसके 15 दिन के अंदर अंदर you have to inform your location details. If the principal is a non-bank authorized dealer, it also follow RBI outsourcing risk direction. अगर आप NBFC है and you are appointing a correspondent, then in that case you have to follow the risk directions which are given by RBI for NBFCs. Last but not the least is the franchise model. फ्रेंचाइज मॉडल का मतलब ऑथोराइज डीलर कैटेगरी 1 बैंक है, उसने क्या किया, अपना एक फ्रेंचाइज दे दी. फ्रेंचाइज का मतलब क्या होता है कि सर देयर इज सम अदर इन्वेस्टर एंड दैट इन्वेस्टर इज इन्वॉल्वड इन योर कोर ऑपरेशंस बाय योर नेम. तो पहले ये फ्रेंचाइज मॉडल अलाउड था, दैट वाज अलाउड, बट नाउ नो न्यू फ्रेंचाइज अरेंजमेंट कैन बी एंटर्ड इनटू under the old money changing guidelines. Any franchise arrangement that were valid on the date these regulations came into force must be discontinued within 2 years, and after that they may continue only if they are converted into foreign exchange correspondents. Is it clear? कि भैया जो फ्रेंचाइज मॉडल है आरबीआई ने कहा इसे बंद कर दो, अब इसका कोई मतलब नहीं है, 2 साल का टाइम दे दिया कि 2 साल के अंदर बंद कर दो और इन्हें कन्वर्ट कर लो किसमें, सर कन्वर्ट देम इनटू फॉरेन एक्सचेंज कॉरेस्पॉन्डेंट. ठीक है जी. आई गेस द एंटायर स्टोरी इज क्लियर. तो यहां पे कुछ चीजें हैं. प्रवाह पोर्टल इंपॉर्टेंट हो गया. कैटेगरी 1, कैटेगरी 2, कैटेगरी 3 में क्या डिफरेंस है. एफएफएमसी के लिए नया लाइसेंस इशू नहीं होगा. व्हाट इज द requirement if you are applying for a category 2 or maybe category 3, उसके लिए क्या requirements है, that should be clear. Your net worth requirements are need to be fulfilled, and if you want to apply for category 2 and you are currently working as full-fledged money changer or forex correspondent, then you must have an experience of 2 years and an average annual forex turnover of 50 crore rupees in the previous 2 financial years. ठीक है जी, क्लियर हो गई बात. अगर किसी को कोई डाउट है तो पूछ लीजिए. लास्ट पॉइंट सिंपल है कि अगर आपने एक फ्रेंचाइज मॉडल क्रिएट किया है, फ्रेंचाइज मॉडल और कॉरेस्पॉन्डेंट मॉडल में क्या डिफरेंस है. फ्रेंचाइज में यू गिव द ओनरशिप ऑफ डे टू डे ऑपरेशंस to the third party, and the third party will create the profit out of it, and out of that profit you will be taking up certain percentage as royalty because you are allowing the investor to use your name. But in case of foreign exchange correspondent, this is an agent. It will directly report you every day. It will conduct each and every transaction under your supervision only. So this is more controlled, this is more supervised in comparison to a franchise model. This is what I'm trying to say. ठीक है जी, क्लियर हो गई बात, समझ आ गया. चलो एक क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करें. लेट्स ट्राई टू सॉल्व अ क्वेश्चन. Question says only companies incorporated under Companies Act 2013 are eligible to apply for authorization as authorized person. Yes sir, this is correct. Authorized dealer category 1 entities are permitted to undertake both current account and capital account transaction. Yes sir. Full-fledged money changer can undertake all types of foreign trade transactions without any limit. नहीं सर, ये तो सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक्सचेंज में इन्वॉल्व होंगे, nothing else. Authorization guaranteed by RBI remains valid indefinitely unless revoked or surrendered. Unless revoked or surrendered. तो अगर मैं इस क्वेश्चन पे जाऊं तो आई वुड से कि एक हद तक ये पॉइंट ठीक है. आई वुड से कि एक हद तक ये पॉइंट ठीक है, बिकॉज इफ यू आर कंसिडरिंग इट with respect to banks and NBFC, it is correct. So I'll take it in that manner only. An authorized person must maintain minimum net worth at all times, failing to which your license can be revoked, but you will be given 6 months time to restore it. That is correct. So answer to this particular question will be C option 1, 2, 4, 5 are the correct answers. Is it clear? I hope it is clear. तो एक बार ये भी आप देख लीजिएगा. This will be available in your PDF. If it is clear, give me yes sir. Now get ready to take the screenshot, guys. And this is the question for you as a homework. Take the screenshot. Give me the answers in the comment section for sure. ठीक है जी, clear है? I hope you have taken the screenshot. Moving on to the next one. The next news we have is very important. That is related to RBI directions on government business by agency banks. So first of all, as we always do, पहले इसकी crux of the story समझ लेते हैं एक दो slides में. Once the crux is clear, then we will be reading the bulky direction which has been presented by RBI. ठीक है, ready? चलो, please pay attention. First of all, if you remember, we have already discussed this term earlier, that is agency bank. Now, what is agency bank? In a similar manner, the way we have just now covered foreign exchange correspondent who is working as an agent, in a similar manner, agency bank means when a bank is operating as an agent of RBI. When bank is operating as an agent of RBI. Now, agent of RBI means what agent basically do? Sir, agent basically carry out the functions of its principal authority, or it carry out the functions of its principal authority, or carry out the functions which are ought to be performed by the principal authority on its behalf. Now, RBI, we all know that, sir, RBI is a government bank, which means RBI is responsible to manage the central government accounts, the state government accounts, the union territory government accounts, and even it is responsible to manage the accounts of government departments, government organizations, and whatnot. Now, in this case, when RBI feel that this entire function is overwhelming on me, so RBI came up with a proposal that I will be appointing an agent bank, and that agent bank will be performing the account management, or will be performing all the functions related to banking sector on the behalf of RBI to the government. For example, if I talk about government, so government raise funds from the public through taxes, government distribute funds to the public in the form of subsidy, in the form of pension. So now the sync between government and public fund transactions, the sync between government and public fund transaction is nothing else but it is the government account, and these accounts, they are maintained either by RBI or they are maintained by the banks which are allowed by RBI to operate as an agent, which are allowed by RBI to operate as an agent. ठीक है जी, यहाँ तक clear हो गया, कोई problem? Now the question is, sir, which all banks can operate as an agent? Sir, as per RBI, RBI can appoint public sector banks. Earlier only public sector banks were allowed, but later on it was expanded to the private banks. After that, small finance banks, and even today the payment banks, they are allowed to operate as agent banks. They are allowed to manage the government accounts on the behalf of RBI. Now, if a bank wants to operate as an agent bank, then firstly, permission or approval is required from RBI. Once the RBI has given the approval, once the RBI has formally appointed a bank as an agent, then only you will be allowed to operate. But there is a condition: bank should not be under the category of PCA, prompt corrective action. Bank is not under the category of prompt corrective action. अगर bank prompt corrective action की category में है, then in that case bank will not be allowed to be appointed as an agent. Now ये appointment होती कैसे है? Sir, appointment होती कैसे है? Firstly, government, I would say the central government, अगर मैं central government की बात करूं, in case of central government, the proposal is received by the ministry. बैंक proposal देता है ministry को, ministry ये proposal, बैंक का proposal forward करती है to CGA, not CAG, it is CGA, और CGA से ये proposal forward किया जाता है RBI पे. When RBI accepted, then yes, you will be operating as a bank. In case of state government, the things are pretty different. In case of state government, state department will receive the proposal. It will forward it to the state finance department. The state finance department will forward this proposal to RBI regional office, and the regional office of RBI will forward it to RBI headquarter, and then finally approval will come, and once the approval is given, then only the bank will be allowed to operate as an agent. Okay. Next is government decides which bank to use. Government decide what mode to use, physical or electronic mode, while managing the account. Government will decide what area of operations they want the bank to perform. So government can withdraw the bank anytime with a notice, and performance will be reviewed periodically, and permission can be performance is reviewed periodically, and if feel that you are not doing well, then you will be withdrawn as an agent bank. Now, why this agent bank operation is performed by SBI or maybe PNB or maybe ICICI? Sir, baap bada na bhaiya, we all know that sabse bada is rupaiya. So same, payment by RBI is given to the agent banks for government work. They free mein kaam nahi karte. Bank, they receive commission. They receive commission or they receive fees against whatever function they are performing. Against whatever function they are performing. If I talk about this fees, that fees is also defined. If it is a physical receipt, per transaction 40 rupees bank will receive. If it is an electronic receive, 12 rupees per transaction will be received. If it is pension fund transaction, that is 80 rupees per transaction. And if it is other payment, any other payment, 7 paisa for every 100 rupees will be received. 7 paisa for every 100 rupees will be received. So this is how the banks, they are earning a lot with the help of this initiative which has been taken. Now, what kind of transactions? A government revenue, tax revenue as well as non-tax revenue is collected. Government payments, including pension payments, is done. Stamp duty, if there is no separate fee or commission received, then stamp duty is also done, and any work which is specified by RBI is also performed by the banks. Some of the transactions which are not allowed, bank cannot perform its own tax payment transactions, bank guarantee or security deposit, state government borrowing, business of local bodies, gold monetization scheme. So जो भी ऐसा function which bank is doing for itself, that will not be eligible under agency bank transaction, and there will be no commission against it. Okay? In case of small saving schemes, commission is decided by the Government of India, which includes schemes like different small saving schemes. We have National Savings Certificate. For them, it is decided by Government of India, the fees. The daily reporting is done to the central account section. In case of non-compliance, then bank will also have to pay the penalty. वे अगर अच्छे से काम नहीं किया तो penalty भी pay करनी पड़ेगी. GST, custom, direct tax की calculation you have to upload on eKuber. You have to upload allowed all days. You have to allow you are allowed to upload the information every day except on global holidays as well as national holidays like January 26th, 15th August, 2nd October, Sunday, and non-working Saturdays. Cutoff time is 6 p.m. It's strict, no extension. You have to submit all the details by 6 p.m. State government transactions you have to submit monthly. So monthly transfer 5th of the next month, and central government transaction delay is greater than 90 days, then prior approval is required. Okay. In case of commission, I have given you the answer. I guess मोटी जो बातें मुझे याद आ रही थी वो मैंने आपको बता दी है. चलो अब आओ पूरी की पूरी डायरेक्शन को पढ़ते हैं, चीजें और अच्छे से क्लियर हो जाएंगी. ठीक है. Now be with me. I'll take 10 to 12 minutes to read 10 to 12 slides and we'll conclude the session. Okay. So Reserve Bank of India has issued these directions to explain how agency banks should handle government business, how they will be paid agency commission, and how RBI will monitor their day-to-day response. These directions apply to the banks that have been formally appointed by RBI as agency bank. Applicability, it is applicable on public sector banks, private banks, payment banks, as well as small finance bank. What is an agency bank? The bank appointed by RBI to the Government of India, to the government work. Then agency commission means the payment made by RBI to the bank for carrying out the work. The pre-funded scheme means a scheme where the government gives money in advance to the bank before the payment or obligation arise. What is a scroll? There is a term called payment scroll. So scroll is a statement of government receipts or payments that banks send to RBI or accounting office for record and reconciliation. Payment scroll should show the payments made, while the receipt scroll should show the money collected by the bank for the government in the government's account. There is a luggage file. It is an electronic file, usually in XML format, that contains transaction detail and is submitted by bank to RBI. भैया आपके पास एक luggage file भी है where you have to submit the entire details to RBI. ठीक है? Now how the banks work, as we have already discussed, that all the public sector banks, they are already eligible to perform the government business, but over the period of time RBI has allowed the private banks, payment banks and small finance bank as well. A bank must be formally appointed by RBI. The process differs. What will be the appointment process? So that will be different for different types of government. I would say अगर जैसी गवर्नमेंट है उस तरह की आपकी अपॉइंटमेंट फॉर्मेट होगा. सेंटर गवर्नमेंट है तो अपॉइंटमेंट का फॉर्मेट डिफरेंट है, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट है तो अपॉइंटमेंट का फॉर्मेट डिफरेंट है, विच यू हैव टू नो. अगर यू कैन रीड ऑन द स्क्रीन, दिस वेरी क्लियरली मेंशन ऑन द स्क्रीन इटसेल्फ. It is very clearly mentioned on the screen itself कि if you are talking about a central government, then what will be the process? Sir, in case of central government, the concerned ministry or department will first prepare the proposal with the applicant bank कि भैया applicant bank का क्या proposal है और हमें उससे क्या क्या काम कराना है. तो उन्होंने applicant bank की डिटेल्स और हमें उससे क्या क्या काम कराना है वो सारी डिटेल पहले उन्होंने फॉरवर्ड कर दी किसे. सो दे विल बी फॉरवर्डिंग दैट डिटेल टू दी CGA. What is the CGA? As it is clearly mentioned on the screen, that is Controller General of Accounts. Then it will be sent to RBI. RBI will examine it. अगर RBI को लगे कि सही है, then RBI will allow. Then RBI will allow that bank to operate as an agent to the given department or maybe to the said government we are talking about. ठीक है? In case of state government, method is quite different. For the state government, the concerned state department prepares the proposal. It sends it to the state finance department. State finance department से वो proposal RBI के regional office पे जाता है और regional office से वो proposal जाता है headquarter पे और फिर कहीं जाकर आपको final answer मिलता है कि whether your proposal is accepted or rejected. Is it clear? Same process is followed for union territory as well. That is the state government वाला सेंटर गवर्नमेंट वाला जो फॉर्मेट है दैट विल बी फॉलोड फॉर यूनियन टेरिटरी एज वेल. दैट विल बी फॉलोड फॉर यूनियन टेरिटरी एज वेल. ठीक है जी, क्लियर हो गई बात. शैल आई मूव अहेड गाइस? Done? Okay. Now moving on to the next condition जो कि बहुत important है. The next condition says कि सर ये जो accounts है whatever we are talking about, in this case a bank can apply for agency criteria only if it is not covered or only if it is not in the list of prompt corrective action. I hope you remember prompt corrective action which was introduced by RBI in order to investigate, in order to identify the banks which are not doing well beforehand, in order to avoid any kind of situation of banks insolvency in the near future. अगला क्वेश्चन काफी इंपॉर्टेंट है. ऋषभ ने अच्छा क्वेश्चन पूछा. ऋषभ इज आस्किंग कि सर ये जो गवर्नमेंट अकाउंट्स है, बैंक इज अलाउड टू और बैंक हैज टू कीप द CRR or SLR out of these accounts. What will be your answer? My answer is no. Why my answer is no? Because bank is not allowed to use this amount for the lending purpose as well. बाकी एक बार आप चेक करना, मेरा आंसर गलत भी हो सकता है. I may be bluffing with you. एक बार चेक कीजिएगा whether the government accounts maintained by bank for those accounts bank hold the CRR as well as SLR values or not. You will find the answer. ठीक है, let's move to the next point. अगला पॉइंट क्या कहता है सर? अगला पॉइंट कहता है who decides which bank will handle the government work. So who will decide? Obviously RBI will decide. Who will handle the government work. Once when RBI authorizes a bank, no separate approval is required and you will be operating. Which government transactions are eligible for agency commission? कौन कौन सी ऐसी गवर्नमेंट की transactions है? Which all government transactions are eligible? Which all government transactions are eligible under this? So if I talk about the government transactions which are eligible under this, RBI pays agency only for the certain government transaction. The main eligible ones are revenue receipts such as tax and non-tax collection, payment transaction including pension payments. If RBI separately tells bank to perform some other transaction, then it will also qualify for the commission purpose. Stamp duty collection are also eligible in many cases, especially when bank collects stamp duty either physically or through the electronic challan mode. Then in that case also you will enjoy the benefit of commission. अगला है which government transactions are eligible for agency commission में the special point is made about franking vendors. What is it? If a bank work as a franking vendor for a state government and collects stamp duty for that purpose, then it does not get agency commission. It does not get agency commission for that particular if the state government is already paying it for the role. What is that? कि सर एक तरफ bank is a franking vendor. Franking vendor का मतलब क्या होता है सर? Bank is the vendor of the state government to sell the stamp duty, ठीक है? और दूसरी तरफ वही बैंक एजेंट भी है. और अब अगर वो स्टैम्प ड्यूटी बेच रहा है तो उसे कमीशन तो एक ही साइड से मिलेगा ना. ऐसा थोड़ा स्टैम्प ड्यूटी बेची और कहेगा कि दोनों साइड से कमीशन चाहिए. नहीं, अगर तो आपका कोई रिलेशन ही नहीं है एज अ वेंडर तो सीधा आपको कमीशन मिलेगा. बट इफ यू हैव अ रिलेशन एज अ वेंडर देन यू वोंट गेट एनी बेनिफिट इन टर्म्स ऑफ द एजेंसी per se. The circular also clearly say that some activities are not the part of agency bank business. For example, if bank pay its own tax through its own branch or through another authorized branch to the government and it comes into the bank's government account only, then it will not be added for the commission purpose. समझ आ रही है बात कि मान लो SBI ने टैक्स देना, SBI ने गवर्नमेंट के अकाउंट में टैक्स क्रेडिट किया और वो अकाउंट SBI की ही किसी ब्रांच के पास है, तो क्या SBI उस ट्रांजैक्शन पे भी एजेंसी चार्जेस लेगा? नहीं लेगा, उस पे आपको एजेंसी चार्जेस नहीं मिलेंगे. ठीक है जी, क्लियर है? दिस इज व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से. अगर मान लो गवर्नमेंट हैज बोरोड और बोरोइंग रेज्ड बाय स्टेट गवर्नमेंट फ्रॉम अ बैंक और फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस आर ऑल्सो नॉट ट्रीटेड एज अ नॉर्मल गवर्नमेंट बैंकिंग बिजनेस फॉर एजेंसी कमीशन पर्पस, क्योंकि जो आपने लोन दिया उस पर तो आपको लेंडिंग रेट मिलेगा ना, उस पर तो आपका प्रॉफिट बिल्कुल डिफरेंट है, तो यहां पे आप उसको मिक्स नहीं करोगे. दैट इज व्हाट यू नीड टू रिमेंबर. विच ट्रांजेक्शंस डू नॉट गेट दी कमीशन? अगला है ऑटोनॉमस बॉडीज, business of autonomous bodies, statutory bodies, municipalities, companies, corporations and local bodies is also outside this framework. Pre-funded schemes do not qualify because they are separately handled and advance payment दी गई है. Gold monetization scheme is excluded. Letter of credit and bank guarantee is excluded, and RBI also make it clear that any other activity which is specially declared ineligible by RBI, no, it will not qualify under the commission purpose. Small saving scheme, agency banks, they also handle the transactions connected to small saving schemes such as public provident fund and similar saving funds like national saving certificates. The rate of commission for these schemes are decided by the government, not by RBI alone. ये point आप याद. It is decided by the government, not by RBI alone. ठीक है जी? Is this point clear? Is this point clear, everybody? If it is clear, give me yes, sir. Okay, let's move on to the next point. अगला जो दो points है वो भी important है, बस वो cover करते हैं, then we will be running to the question. अगला point है how bank must report the transactions. Very important. Bank should report the transaction for GST, customs, central excise duties collected through specified electronic system, and for direct taxes collected through TIN 2.0. Bank must upload their transaction files in the RBI system on all days except global holidays. Global holidays include Republic, Independence and Gandhi Jayanti, all Saturdays which are not working. All Sundays are included. These files must be uploaded by the cutoff time before 6 p.m. For state government, the monthly balance transfer date is the 5th day of the next month. तो जो भी आपका monthly balance, it will be transferred 5th day of the next month. If the transaction from the previous month is reported after 4th day of the next month or belongs to the earlier month, it must be reported separately after proper confirmation. तो ये याद रखना. Central government transaction, if the transaction is reported after 90 days from the date of transaction, the bank must first get approval from the concerned ministry before reporting to RBI कि भैया ये जो रिपोर्ट है हमने आज लेट की है तो इसके लिए हमें अप्रूवल दे दो ताकि हम रिपोर्ट कर दें. और सर्कुलर बहुत क्लियरली कहता है कि गोल्ड मोनेटाइजेशन विल नॉट बी इंक्लूडेड. क्वेश्चन यहां से बनेगा और डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन बनेगा कि भैया आपको क्या मिलता है एज अ कमीशन. 40 रुपीज, 12 रुपीज, 80 रुपीज एंड 7 रुपीज. इलेक्ट्रॉनिक रिसीट मीन्स द मनी कम थ्रू इंटरनेट बैंकिंग, डेबिट कार्ड, credit card, UPI or any other non-cash electronic method. For that, bank will receive 12 rupees. Is it clear? How a single challan is counted? So RBI has also clarified the important rule about challans. If one GST challan results in several tax heads being credited, it's still counted as one single transaction only. मतलब अगर एक चालान क्रिएट हुआ, उस चालान पे multiple credits हुए हैं GST के, it will be considered as one transaction only. The same rule applies to non-GST challans as well. So even if challan has multiple accounting heads, it should not be broken into separate transactions for claiming extra commission. The rule prevents bank from counting one challan multiple times. तो अगर आपने एक अथॉरिटी के लिए GST का चालान लिया और उसी पे आपने 10 बार GST रिसीव किया, it will be counted as single transaction only. It won't be counted as multiple transactions every time. ठीक है. Last but not the least is bank must submit the claims within 60 calendar days from the end of the quarter. बस ये point important है. Claims for the special deposit scheme transactions are submitted quarterly to the CAS. That is, what is CAS? Central Account Section. It should be submitted quarterly to the Central Account Section within and 60 calendar days from the end of the quarter. Bank should submit the claims. भैया जो पैसा आपको लेना है, क्लेम आप दोगे आरबीआई को, तब जाकर आरबीआई पैसा देगा. अगर आप आरबीआई को क्लेम ही नहीं दोगे, आरबीआई आपको पैसा नहीं देगा. क्लियर होगी बात है, समझ आ गई. बाकी चीजें सिंपल है, आप पढ़ लेना, आपको क्लियर हो जाएंगी. नाउ लेट्स ट्राई टू सॉल्व अ क्वेश्चन व्हिच इज नाउ ऑन योर स्क्रीन. लेट्स ट्राई टू सॉल्व अ क्वेश्चन व्हिच इज नाउ ऑन योर स्क्रीन. मैंने इंटेंशनली कुछ चीजें इग्नोर की है, which I should not have done, but मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि those things are not important for your examination point of view, so that is the reason I have ignored them. तो वो मैं आपको रिटन फॉर्म में दे दूंगा, आप एक बार पढ़ लेना, समझ आ जाए तो बहुत बढ़िया, ना समझ आए तो इग्नोर कर देना, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. ठीक है जी, चलो let's try to solve the question. The question says all scheduled banks including payment banks and small finance banks are eligible. Yes. Bank under PCA framework can be appointed. No. A single challan with multiple tax heads is treated as a multiple transaction. No. Agency commission claim must be submitted within 60 days from the end of quarter. Yes. RBI pays agency commission for transaction related to pre-funded schemes. No, because that is प्रीपेड. एडवांस में ही गवर्नमेंट उसका भी कमीशन पे करती है, तो उस केस में आरबीआई विल नॉट पे. सो आंसर इज गोइंग टू बी ओनली 1 and 4. सो आंसर इज गोइंग टू बी ए ऑप्शन ओनली. इज इट क्लियर एवरीबडी? इज इट क्लियर? इफ यू गाइस आर क्लियर, जस्ट गिव मी यस सर, so that I can move ahead. Get ready. I'm coming up with the next question, which is going to be your homework. Ready guys? Okay, so here you go. You have 5 seconds. Take the screenshot. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Take the screenshot. So I have 2 questions given to you. Give me the answers in the comment section. Along with that, I need the answer that whether CRR SLR is maintained for government account deposits, yes or no. ठीक है, मजा आया, चीजें समझ आ गई. हाँ, लास्ट में मैंने 2-3 चीजें मैंने पहले सोचा था पढ़ा दूंगा, फिर पढ़ाते हुए मुझे लगा कि इग्नोर कर देना चाहिए क्योंकि कुछ ज्यादा हो रहा था, तो इसलिए मैंने इंटेंशनली इग्नोर कर दिया. थोड़ा सा कंटेंट आई विल प्रोवाइड यू इन दी PDF फॉर्मेट, वहां आप देख लीजिएगा. क्लियर हो जाए तो बहुत बढ़िया, ना क्लियर हो तो इग्नोर कर दें. जितना पढ़ाया बस उतना याद रखना, दैट इज मोर देन सफिशिएंट. ठीक है जी, क्लियर है. Okay, so that will be all from my side in this particular session. We'll catch you in the next session to go. If you want to download the PDF, that will be available on our